Senior Labor frontbencher Joel Fitzgibbon says drought-stricken parts of Australia could face a war-like situation if it doesn't rain over the coming months.
The opposition is calling for a World War II-style emergency cabinet to deal with the ongoing crisis, but the government argues the idea is out of step with modern times. Live now to our political reporter Eliza Edwards in Canberra. Joel Fitzgibbon first called for this war-like cabinet in an interview with us here on First Edition last week. So is this a sign that the opposition is going to push even harder this week to get that up?
I don't think Labor's going to let go of this idea anytime soon, but the Prime Minister was asked about it yesterday after receiving a formal request from Anthony Albanese, and he said there was a firm no. He said that the coalition has enough voices in its own ranks to guide their policy and they don't need to rely on this cross-party cabinet of government, Labor and crossbench members. Joel Fitzgibbon yesterday said the response from Scott Morrison has been disappointing and accused him of failing to prepare for worst-case scenarios if it doesn't rain. He said he wasn't being alarmist, but went as far as to compare the drought situation to a war-like crisis. He was really ramping up this rhetoric when I spoke to him last night.
No general goes into battle without properly understanding and taking into account all of the scenarios which might possibly lie ahead of him. And I don't see any sign that the government has war-gamed those various scenarios, has considered the possibility that it might not rain for a long, long time.
Now, the Drought Minister was also firm in saying there's no need for an English-style 1940s show of bipartisanship. He said he's happy to listen to the opposition's views if they just pick up the phone.
And Eliza, Labor will use this week's Senate estimates to target the government over infrastructure spending.
That's right. So senators are returning this week for a week of estimates, and the opposition will use this opportunity to claim that the government has been unable to deliver on key infrastructure promises. The Shadow Infrastructure Minister, Catherine King, said construction is yet to start on 98% of projects identified as immediate priorities in last year's budget. Now, government departments and agencies will also face a grilling in estimates. The AFP will be one of the first up from 9 a.m. this morning, and no doubt they'll be asked to provide an update on the investigations and potential prosecutions of journalists, a key issue in the context of today's press freedom protests.